Regan Slaymake for International Boxing News, and I'm joined by Australian heavyweight contender Demsey McKean. Demsey, how are you today, mate?
Doing well, just finished another big training session, so it's always a lot better when you finish the session than beforehand. So
definitely, I'm glad that I kind of catch you at the end when you're all kind of chilled out. Kind of obviously, how is training going? Obviously, fair to say, kind of you're staying ready, obviously on the hunt for big fights as well.
Yeah, I've been back in the UK for a few months now after heading back home and having a fight in Brisbane and then staying out there for another couple of months and had to get a couple of little injuries sorted. But yeah, I've been back for a few months now, training under Tony, and we've just started to really ramp it up the last week or two. Hoping to get some fight news locked in soon, and we're looking to fight probably be back out in the ring in maybe end of May. So fingers crossed we can get something locked in soon and have a bit of fighting out soon, and really hone in on this training camp.
Perfect. Kind of one fighter that obviously before we spoke, kind of you're actively saying I want one of the big names. Like that is the thing that will kind of catapult you to kind of the top 5 heavyweight. Everyone I've been talking about you. One of the names that was kind of actively calling you out was Joseph Parker. Kind of is it fair to say that that's one of the fights that you're aiming for next?
I think that's a perfect fight, especially my point in my career as well. He's had a couple losses over the last couple of years, but he's still top contender. He's still maybe top 5, top 8 heavyweight at the moment. Former world champion, good competitor. Stylistically, I think it's a good matchup for myself. It's that Australia versus New Zealand rivalry as well. We've got a lot of competition between us with the rugby league and the union and cricket and all sports, and us being so close. So I think that'll be a great fight, and it's a fight that's kind of been festering for a couple of years. We've been in talks about trying to make this fight over the last couple of years, pretty much since COVID, and if we can get this on over the line, it's going to be massive. So
talks for that fight have begun now, and where would that fight take place as well?
Yeah, that's obviously a fight for back home in Australia. I don't think it sells quite as well over here in the UK, but that back home, that's a massive fight. So there has been some negotiations, and we're trying to get a contract drawn up soon, and hopefully we can make this fight happen. I know their team's very keen for it. We're very keen for it as well. And if we can get this fight over the line, it's going to be massive. So huge fight for back home, and to have both of our nations on our shoulders as well, watching over, it's going to be massive.
Definitely, and obviously that is a massive fight, especially kind of for Australia and New Zealand as well. Kind of what going into a fight with Joseph Parker, what are you expecting? Obviously, he's for AJ, he's for Joe Joyce more recently. But what would you be expecting in that ring, going in the ring with him? What would you be preparing for?
Yeah, look, I think he's been at the top. He's definitely fought a lot better competition than I have. But I'm, like I've said previously many times, I'm waiting to make my shot at some of the top guys as well. And he's a great competitor, but he has kind of fallen short on a few occasions once he has versed that top level. Not knocking him, he was a former world champion. He beat Ruiz, and but he has fallen short at the top level, and I think I'm better than some of the guys that he's lost to as well, and I think I'm a better boxer and pack a lot more of a punch, and I think it's just going to be a great fight. I think it's a good point in my career on the way up, and he's kind of hit a standstill where he's probably looking to fight another top-rated, top 10 heavyweight to kind of chuck himself back in the mix and kind of renew his name a little bit. So I think it's a good point in both of our careers actually to make this fight.
Definitely, mate, and I want to look forward to that fight getting over the line as well, mate.
Definitely.
Kind of obviously last time we spoke, obviously you were actively the front runner to fight Anthony Joshua on April 1st. Obviously it's not happened. He's fighting Jermaine Franklin. Was it particularly frustrating going through that period again of fights falling through? I know the Dylan White fight's the main one that kind of fell through right at the last minute, but again, it must be frustrating for yourself.
It is, but I guess you could say it's nothing I'm not used to by now as well. The blow gets softened a little bit each time, but it's a massive opportunity for a fight like that, and to that one slip through the fingers once again. That's boxing, that's politics, and when people just say, come on, fight this person, why don't you just fight that person? It's not as easy as that, It's a lot of politics behind the scene, and a lot goes into it, trust me, and I've been dealing with it for many years, and me being a southpaw definitely doesn't help, because that seems to be the main reason why these fights are falling through as well. So, hopefully I can take out a top name, someone like Parker. I can get myself in a position where some of these guys can stop, pulling out or not following through with fights, and actually take on the challenge as well. We've got Usyk, a southpaw champion. You think, like I've said before, you think some of these guys would be wanting to test themselves against the southpaw and getting ready to fight Usyk, the southpaw champion, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Maybe I'm too much of a threat for these guys, and it's a blessing in disguise, I'd say.
Definitely, mate. And just touching on while I was here, talking to John Ryder about a potential fight with Canelo before I ambushed you for an interview as well, mate. Kind of talk to me, kind of how is the whole gym kind of feeling about kind of John facing a pound for pound star, arguably number one like Canelo? Was the vibe in the gym about that fight?
It's huge, you know, like Canelo's biggest name in the sport of boxing, and rightfully so. He's a great competitor, and to have one of my stablemates and, you know, a friend in the gym to be able to take on that challenge and have the opportunity to take that throne from Canelo, you know. It's boxing, it's possible, you know, and we've got all faith in John. You know, he's been around the game a long time, and it's good to see him get the notice that he deserves, and, you know, like the big opportunity to set himself and his family up, and a good little payday as well. So, you know, it's a massive opportunity for him, and it's not just him in the gym. We're all on the fringe of some big fights at the moment. You know, you got Felix Cash fighting for the European title soon, and Jordan Thompson's defending his title, and Conor Ben's looking to get back in there against a big name like maybe Pac-Man or someone else. You know, Joe Cordino fighting for his world title again, and myself hopefully getting a fight against Parker or another big name. And man, it's massive. We're all buzzing in the gym. We're all fighting within a couple of months of each other, and it's a busy time at the gym, and everyone's buzzing, everyone's frothing to get back in there and take out some of these big wins. So yeah, it's a good vibe at the moment.
Definitely, mate. The gym is flying, and I want to look forward to you. Hopefully, as I said, the Parker fight game finals, mate. Dempsey, thank you again for talking.
Excellent, mate. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Cheers.